Hello again, lovely people. How are you all doing today? I do hope you're well. I'm well. I'm carrying on straight on from the other day when I was talking about thermals and tea again. Yeah, I might be a little bit like this through this video because it's quite chilly. I want to keep moving. I finished that video and I've done a few sort of this sort of thing and all that. Anyway. Right, so, yay! If you remember, you might not have seen the video, but I have a penny jar that I keep putting my pennies and 5p's and little bits of change in throughout the year. Then, just before Christmas, I empty it out, I cash it in for notes rather than pennies, and I use it to do, Christmas shopping, extra food treats, what have you. But I decided this year, I really didn't need it. I kept 20 for myself for some food shopping over Christmas, a few little extra treats. So I decided instead I would do a food bank shop. Now, most weeks when I go shopping, as you've seen my shopping videos, I never spend much, 10, 12, sometimes 15 quid, sometimes 8 quid, but always try to buy a couple of tins of something to put in the food bank. But I thought, you know what? I want to do more than that this Christmas because, let's face it, I think the world's in a bit of a pickle, isn't it? So let's try and, share where we can. So originally, the idea was I was going to do 10 quid on food, 10 quid on treats, 10 quid on personal hygiene and 10 quid on toys. But I put a couple of messages up locally and, saying, is there a toy drive? Is anyone doing a toy drive? Does anyone want volunteers for wrapping? No toy drives in the area. It's a shame that. Or there may have been, no one ever got back to me. So in the end, what I've done, I haven't done it yet, is I'm going to do 20 quid on the food. But I can't do everything in one go. So I've done hygiene and treats so far. What I'll do is after this video, I've got my granny trolley ready. They're going to go back in the granny trolley. I'm going to take them to the food bank. Then I can go and do the food bit of the shop. So let's see how far we get today anyway. So this is, it was supposed to be 20 quid. I overspent. It was £20, 18. Hold on a minute because the trolls want proof. Can you see? Just give my camera a moment to adjust. And it was a bit, how to put it? Yeah, it was a bit tricky. So when I go shopping, because I know that there's only a few small items I need, I've got a good idea how much they cost because it's things that I buy, like rice, lentils, what have you. But even so, as I go around, I do the maths in my head as I'm going with my basket. Every time I put something in, I'm adding up. This was from my notebook. I think that's the treats column, and that was the personal hygiene, and that was the treats column, because they're unfamiliar things to me. And I'd gone with an idea of what I wanted to get, but then I was like, oh gosh, that's more expensive than I thought, or that's cheaper. Oh, I tell you what, let's take that out and put these in instead. But just trying to be mindful of the recipient, of thinking of their circumstances in terms of, heating, hot water, that kind of thing. Anyway, so let's dive in. So I got all of this from Lidl. With the food shop, I know that I'm going to get most of it from Lidl, but also, because I did a bit of research a couple of days ago, there's some stuff that Lidl doesn't do that I wanted to add, but I spotted actually Tesco's do, and it's not too expensive, so there'll be a combination. But anyway, let's dive in and let's see what I managed to get. And some reasoning. And when we come on to the treats, there's going to be a little bit of memory sharing. So this isn't just about, what do you buy? But there's going to be a little bit of memory stuff in here. So because there's a lot of treats, very importantly, of course, toothbrushes. Now, the adult toothbrushes, that was 4 for 99 pence, which is crazy. Now, the other thing to say about this shop is there's quite a lot of plastic, there's quite a lot of waste. So that's also been a bit of an eye-opener for me. But you know what? I've got to get people's teeth clean, not me, you know what I mean. So £1 basically for 4, that's great. And the kids' ones, £1 for 2. They're sweet, aren't they? Jolly. So this is for 0 to 6 years. They do a toothbrush, I think that's 7 to 10 or 7 to 11 years. But my thinking was, if a family's got maybe a couple of kids under 6, great. And if they've got 1 or 2 kids 7 and over, actually the 7 and 8-year-olds could use an adult brush. And you know, there's some fun colours in there as well. I think that's another thing that I was thinking about going around, is about colour and fun. I mean, I know brushing your teeth ain't any fun, especially when you're a kid, but you know, with the different colours, it saves argument, doesn't it? I mean, I can't stand gender stuff. If there's 2 little girls in a house, that might cause arguments. The parent or guardian or carer is going to have to get a bit inventive to make the green one appealing. So a couple of quid on toothbrushes. The toothpaste, astonishingly, this is a Total Care. They had different types. You know, had a whitening one and sensitive and And I was like, okay, look, this is for a whole family. So it's a Total Care, nothing flash, 59 pence. I'm going to round all these numbers up. I'm going to call that 60 pence just to help that with the maths. So 60p. Then, yes, how much were these? Deodorants, 75 pence each. Now, my thinking with the deodorants is, and I know this is true for me, I've just noticed they're vegan. I didn't buy them for that reason. I am having far fewer baths than I ever used to. In an ideal world, I'd love to have a bath every night. I love my bath. I'm having 1 bath a week these days. Although the other day I brought it forward. It had been 5 days since my last bath, but I was so cold coming back. I think it was from the garden. So I'm bringing it forward. Anyway, the point is, I think a lot of us are having far less baths, even less showers. I don't have a shower here. There's no head space, height for it. So I think a lot of us, you know, it's a pits and bits wash with a flannel. And I just thought, deodorant, you don't want, you know, I think poverty's, look, I don't want to go on one because I'll get into a massive political rant, but let's remember the folk who are using food banks, they aren't disgusting scum of the earth people. Let's keep our dignity about this. Let's keep their dignity. These are just people who are really, really struggling financially. These are people, some of them, they're working, they've got jobs, but because of, you know, private rents, and anyway, the point is, no one wants to smell foul, do they? No one. So that's why I chose deodorant. They didn't have any women's, and again, I don't care about all that kind of gender colour stuff, but I think, you know, if someone's going on to the food bank and they're a woman, maybe they would want one that's pink rather than... So that's why I opted for that kind of paler blue, because I thought that might appeal to a woman. Anyway, sanitary pads in different strengths. All the sanitary pads were 59p, 60p, and each one contains how many pads in there? Is it 10 pads? I can't see where it says. I think it's 10 pads. Did I see it on the shelf? Oh no, 14. Oh, that's good. Oh, so the bigger ones there's 12, the littler ones there's 14. I mean, I can't think of anything more horrible than not having enough money to buy sanitary pads. You know, I'm sure there are so many women out there, you know, they're putting their kids first. It's like food on the table for the kids is their absolute priority. So, you know, come on, again, it's a dignity thing, isn't it? No one should be without sanitary pads or I was going to get tampons as well. They didn't have any. I'm just slightly bearing in mind the area I live in, culturally. For some women, tampons are an absolute no-no. So in fact, I think choosing pads over tampons, it covers all bases. You know, so if a woman normally uses tampons and can't get them, she'll be happy with a pad. Whereas a woman who normally uses pads because it's a cultural thing would never use a tampon. Okay, so soap. I bought soap. How much? Soap bars. £1.15, and there's sorry, crinkly. So there's 4 blocks of soap in there for £1.15. If it was £1.20, so it's a little under 30 pence a bar. Again, I looked at things like, you know, shower gel. I looked at bubble bath at one point as well, because I was thinking how kids love to play with bubbles in the bath, and I thought, but hang on a minute, they may not be, like, I'm not using the bath, I'm not having a bath, so forget the shower gel, forget the bubble bath, stick with a good old-fashioned block soap, because then if you are doing a pits and bits wash with a flannel, you just, you know, rub a bit on your flannel, you're away, you're ready to go. Then shampoo. Oh, this one reminds me of my childhood. Now, originally I picked up a shampoo and a conditioner, but then at the last minute I saw a separate kids shampoo. Now, kids don't need their own separate shampoo, but again, it's going back to that thing of trying to make kids feel cared for and feel special, worthy still. So the 2 shampoos, the adult one was 95p, the kids one was 99p. Are they the same? Actually, that's 350 mils, and it was 4p cheaper than 250 mils. So it is more expensive, but this is also a 2-in-1. The kids one is a 2-in-1. Anyone who's ever tried to brush tangly long hair on a kid, so hopefully you get the tangles out. And you know what? Look, it's jolly. It's a bit of colour, isn't it? Little just psychological things. So, kids shampoo. Now this, gosh, this brought back memories for me. So this is Alberto Balsam Juicy Green Apple. By the way, none of this is about me recommending products at all. These are not things that I use. I can't say how good or how if they're rubbish. It's just what can I get for 10 quid. Now, thing with the apple shampoo, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm having that. When I was a kid, I must have been, it was before I was working, so I must have been 13. 12 or 13. An apple shampoo came on the market. So we're talking around about 1980. I don't know what brand it was, I don't know what make it was. One of my friends used it, and oh, I loved the smell. I'd like lean into her to sniff her hair. It was gorgeous. I really wanted it, but it was too expensive. There was no way my mum was going to get it for us. And like I said, it was one of those things. As a kid, I didn't get any say in what was purchased. It's like, you know, this is what you're having, I'll like it or lump it. And if I wanted that posh green apple shampoo, the answer would be, you know what, if you want that shampoo, get a job, earn some money, buy it yourself. And that's what I did. So that's what I did when I was 14. I got a job. I worked every Saturday and Sunday just so I could buy things that I really wanted. So yeah, green apple shampoo. Now the thing was and it might even have been Alberto Balsam that did it, because this is 95p. That's pretty cheap for shampoo, isn't it? But I do remember, you know, I don't know whether it was a year later, 2 years later, when I was working, I could buy my own shampoo. Brilliant. And I bought apple shampoo just so I could be like my beautiful friend. I'm sure my mum thought it was great as well. Here's a kid, 14-year-old kid, she's buying her own stuff. Brilliant. Less for my mum to buy. Yeah, so, gosh, green apple shampoo. Do you remember that? I don't know if you have it in other parts of the world too, but I'm sure fellow Brits of my age will remember that. And it felt so, I don't know, I felt so grown up and luxurious using it. So anyway, as soon as I saw this, I thought, that's the one I'm getting. Of course, whoever the recipient is, they're not going to know my stupid history, my stupid story. But I don't know, it's a nice smell, isn't it? It's a fresh, clean smell. And again, it's all back to that thing of clean. And I think, you know, when times are tough, if you don't, you know what, and I'm going to say it's sexist, but I think especially girls feel this, don't they? I think women, just those simple things like being able to wash your hair and not have greasy hair. I don't think it shows up on men so much, does it, with their shorter hair? But when my hair is greasy, when my hair is dirty, it brings me down. So for instance, I'm only having a bath once a week, but I wash my hair again during the week, just my hair, because I get greasy hair anyway, because it's so fine, it really shows. It just makes me feel a bit, bleh. So shampoo, yeah. And then the last thing I bought was, how much is this? Toothpaste, towels, deodorant, oh yeah, lotion. £1.19, call it £1.20. Cocoa butter. Because that's the other thing with winter, isn't it? Winter can be horrid on our skin. And again, I think it's that feeling of a little bit of care when you're putting lotion on your skin. It's a bit of care, isn't it? But also I was thinking, well, also if it's a parent or carer who's got a real little one, you know, not baby but littler, to keep their skin in good order. With the winter, you know, cracking our skin, that sort of thing, infection, what have you. So I thought, yeah, some skin cream I think is a really, really good thing to have for the winter. I'm freezing, I'm starting to shiver again. I've got my thermal trousers, oh my goodness, those the thermal tops cannot come soon enough. Okay, so on to the sweet treats, and again, it's all about the kiddies. So I bought bars of chocolate that are amazingly, right, first of all, I was looking, like I said, this is from Lidl, and they've got their Christmas section. And I was looking at chocolate coins. You know what? I might just get an extra and chuck it in, because I think there was something like £1.50 for a bag of chocolate coins. There were quite a few coins in there, but I just thought, that's quite a lot for one moment of treat. So instead, so this is 66, 120, 130. So for about the same as one, I got 4 bars of chocolate. 33, I mean, I couldn't believe it, 33 pence each. And I've gone for 2 bars of white, because kids love white chocolate. You know, it's much, I think it's basically, it's more sugary and creamy. So 2 bars of white, and then I went for 2 bars of milk. There was a dark chocolate, but you know, dark chocolate isn't to everybody's taste. And besides, this is so much about the kids, the treats bit. And I don't know any kid that likes dark chocolate. But you know what? Maybe parents or guardian can have the milk chocolate. Leave the white chocolate for the kids. I can't believe that they're 33 pence each. Now, I then got, this is Frugal. These were, it's going to be crunchy. Hang on a sec. Can you see them through the bottom? Can you make those out in the bottom there? There you go. These were 99 pence a bag. How many, does it say how many you get in there? 10, 15 sticks maybe. So yeah, 99p each. So I got 2, and my thinking behind these is, because the sweets are individually wrapped, yeah, you can just about make that out, can't you? They're sort of like a little stick, little Fruity Chew stick. I thought because they're wrapped, that would be great for parents to ration. So you could pick up one of these bags at the fruit bank. The fruit bank, it's not a fruit bank, food bank. And let's say there are, you know, 15 or 16 sticks. You've got a couple of kids. They can have 1 stick each day for a week. So yeah, because they're individually wrapped, it doesn't have to be that you open the bag and the kid's going to muller the whole lot in one session. Just one of those, you know, in their lunchbox. They're probably not at school at the moment. And I know that might seem like, Vivi, that's ridiculous, 1 sweet a day. Again, back to my childhood memories, we didn't even get 1 sweet a day. When I was a kid, if I'd been given one of these each day, oh my goodness, I would have been so happy. So I think it's, you know, for me, I am remembering my own childhood, and we have nothing, you know, pretty much cold all the time and hungry all the time. And I'm sure as a kid I said to myself, I am never going to be this cold again in my life. When I'm a grown up, I'm going to put the fire on. Mom, please can we put the fire on? No, put another jumper on. Yeah, so when I talk about this kind of stuff, I am in no way meaning to patronise anyone. I'm talking from experience. So yeah, they're individually wrapped, 99p each. Oh, so by the way, I said I'd gone over, it's £20.18, the total amount. It was actually, I think it was the personal hygiene stuff that tipped it over. And that was because I ended up buying, so I think I'd got a total of about £9.60 or so, around about £9.60. So what can I get for 40p? So I just picked up another packet of the Sanitary Pads because they're 60p, so that's what took it over. The sweets came in. Oh, I'm cold today. I've lost one of them. Had it all out in the hall. I've got another packet out in the hall. It's like, it's a caramel biscuit bars for 69p. They're like Twix. It's like a rip-off of Twix. But again, there's 5 in there and they're individually wrapped. There's 2 sticks in each one. So 5, you could say, you know, over the course of a week or the school week, if you've got a couple of kids, open it up and each kid gets 1 bar. It's like a Twix bar. Okay, so this, it's really crunchy, isn't it? How much is this one? I can't find it. Chewy Sweets. £2.29 for this bag, but can you see through the window? So again, they're all individually wrapped. So again, it's one of those things where the grown-up can open this and literally give out 1 sweet each. They're different flavours. I'm sure all, you know, it's that thing, isn't it, the argument? Well, I want the red ones. I only want the red ones. But hopefully there's enough in there to not have arguments. What did I say? £2.29. That's quite a lot, but it's there's 500 grams in there. Quite a lot. And now, so I didn't get the chocolate coins. I'm going to get some today. I've got to put chocolate coins in there, haven't I? We're going to go over budget. Who cares? It's Christmas. Sorry, I'm really cold now. So, there had to be some Christmas stuff. I got 2, how much were these? Selection boxes. 89p a selection box. I mean, there's hardly anything in there. Sorry, crackle. So there's 4 bars in here. Oh, and 1 bag. So I think it's some chocolate buttons, a fudge, a curly whirly, a Freddo. I don't know, if you bought them individually, would they be cheaper? I don't know. But the reason I got them, and now again, I'm going to cry in a minute. The reason I got them is, again, it's about my childhood. All through my childhood, I wanted a selection box. That's all I wanted for Christmas. I didn't care about any toys, I didn't care about any of that. I just wanted a selection box. And I never, ever got one. Oh, poor little orphan Annie. No, just wasn't the money. This was considered a complete frippery, complete waste of money. But, I'd see my friends. My friends would have them. I had one friend, of all my friends, a lot of my friends were sort of similar financial state as we were, maybe a little bit better off. But I had one friend who was a chunk better off because she had 2 parents and they both worked. And she had a selection box every year. And every year I was so jealous. You know, happy for her, but jealous. So yeah, all I ever wanted was a selection box, and I never, ever got one. To this day, I've never had a selection box. You know what? I might have to buy myself one. So, for 89p, did I say? Quote 90p, £1.80 for the two of them. Again, I was kind of thinking in my head, someone picking up for two kids, but of course, the chances are, in the food bank, you might only be allocated one of each item. It depends how much they've got. And then this, oh, hell's bells, it's chilly. This was great. I got a bit of a bargain because they're £1.49 each, so that should have been £3. Buy two for £2. So they ended up being £1 each. And they're little chocolate lollies. But again, I've gone for them because it's a Christmas theme. How many is in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. And it's fair trade. Great. So 10 lollies. Again, if someone just gets one pack, because they're individually wrapped, you can split it between 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. And then on the back, and I love this with Christmas, this is what I loved when I was a kid as well. You get on the back, there's a picture to colour in. Oh, maybe I should buy some colouring pencils to go with it. But anyway, I thought, yeah, so kind of Christmassy looking, themed. And then, so that's milk chocolate. And then that one is in white chocolate. So, do you know, if I was a kid and was given the whole one, I'd go mental with joy. But even just, one, get one of those given to you after your tea. And let's say your tea is baked beans on toast again. Just a little something like that. You know, I keep thinking so much about all our kids. Because, look, I know we've all gone through a lot in the last couple of years with COVID and stuff, but I keep thinking about the kids in particular with, you know, they've missed all that time at school, missed being with their mates. You know, now they're sitting in their chilly home and, you know, all they're hearing from mum and dad or mum and mum or dad and dad or carer and carer or whoever's the grown-up in charge, all they're hearing from them is, no, we haven't got any money for it. No, we haven't got any money for it. I know what that feels like. I know exactly what that, well, not exactly, but my own experience of that, you know, by the age of 5, learning to just never, ever ask for anything because the answer is always the same. It's no. So, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go and get a few more things to add because, you know, God knows our kids need a bit of a boost, don't they? And hopefully, and this is what I was saying about doing the treats and stuff. Hopefully, if we can help that way through the food banks, whatever, if we can help the kids to have a boost. Any of you that are parents, you know what that will mean to you, what it means to you when you can make your child happy. And I think the strain, the stress for parents who are struggling for the most basic stuff like food and heating, you know, for them to be able one day to say, yeah, you know what, you can have some chocolate, there you go. Yeah. So yeah, we need to all look after each other. That's what it boils down to every time, isn't it? Is share the love, look after each other. I'm now freezing and need to move again. So I think I've chatted for I don't know how long I've chatted about all that for. That was kind of more than I was expecting. But there we go, memory lane and all that too. So I might call at the end of the video there and we'll do the food one separately, or I'll see on the timing. And I'm going to go and get all the food. We might put it into the same video. If the food is part of this same video, I'll see you in a second with the food. If the food isn't part of this if the food isn't part of this video, I feel like Ronnie Barker doing the news bit at the end of the two Ronnies. If the food isn't tagged on to the end of this video, it's time for me to say cheerio. And please, please, please take care. Look after yourselves and each other. Loving thoughts to one another. Cheerio.